Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Jeannie, and this is Jeannie's Signatures. So today I'll be making this beautiful madam or Igbo blouse, as they call it. So if this is what you're interested in, please kindly watch till the end. It's an off-shoulder Igbo blouse, a bustier off-shoulder. So thanks to all my amazing subscribers. Those of you that have not yet subscribed but you keep flipping through my videos, please kindly hit on that subscribe button, like, share, and please kindly give this video a huge thumbs up. So now I'm going to be giving you a detailed tutorial on this piece. So if this is what you're interested in, please let's head over to the cutting table. So yes, these are the materials I'll be making use of. As you can see, I have the lace. The lace is 1.5 yards of fabric, and then I have the lining, and of course the doll face that I'll be using to line the lace, because you can't just make the lace transparent like that. So before transferring to my fabric, I'll be marking everything on my pattern paper so that everything will be visible, so that we can all see what we are doing clearly. So I've already marked out some lines, as you can see, so I'll be explaining all those lines right about now. So now I'm going to be placing 4 inches above my table. So for any other person, if you want, you can go by 5 inches, 6 inches, 7 inches. It depends on how off you want the shoulder of the blouse to be. But for mine, I'm marking 4 inches, as in I'm placing 4 inches off the table. And from there I got my armhole, which is 9 inches. I got my bust line. Anything your bust line is, add half an inch to that before marking your bust, under bust as well. You mark whatever it is plus half an inch, and then your half length, and then of course the full length and the sewing allowance. So those are the lines that I have ruled out there. So the next thing I'll be making now is just to be placing my bust span measurement, or what we call nipple to nipple divided by 2. So that is what I'll be marking from up to the down. So when you divide your, let's say your nipple to nipple is 6 inches, you divide 6 by 2, that will give you 3. So please kindly add 3 inches, half an inch, sorry. So that will give you 3.5 inches. So that is what I'm ruling from my shoulders or my chest line down to the length of the blouse. So in order to get our underbust darts, I will be placing 1.5 inches under my underbust. So depending on how busty or how small your bust is, you can make use of 1 inch, or you can equally share that between the two. You can put half here, 1.5 there, or 1 3/4 here and 1/4 here. So it depends on what you want. But for my client, she has a big tummy, so I'm trying to make this so that her tummy will not that tummy area will not be too tight for her. So on the under bust as well, I marked 1.5 inches, and then on the waist area as well, I marked 1.5 inches. So that is what I'm connecting like so. So on the bust line, I came down by half an inch, or you can come down by 1 inch. I mostly use 1 inch, but I just decided to use half an inch today. So you connect it like so, you carve it out to meet the under bust that we have marked like so. So you come to the other side, and then you do the same thing that you did there, right there as well. So we have our underbust that's ready. So for the length of the blouse, if you want, you can just come down there and then place the 1.5 inches on both sides, and then rule it all the way down. But I don't want that. I will be going up by my full length by 2 inches, and then I'll be slanting that line from there to meet that, as you see me do, because there's a shape that this kind of gives to the lower part of the blouse, especially for those who have big tummy. Yeah. So now we'll be coming to the shoulder parts, that is the chest area, or the shoulder parts because it's going to be an off shoulder. So in order to tighten the upper parts, I'll be placing half an inch towards me, and then the other side going towards the armhole, I'll be placing 1 inch. And so from there, I'll be connecting like so. Just connect it to meet the bust point. Alternatively, you can just go up by half an inch from your bust point so that you avoid any pointed edges. So that is what I did on the other side. So just to show you that you can do it anyhow you want it to be. So I'll be connecting that as well. So we have done our chest tightening. So we're done with all that. So the next thing we're going to be doing now, I'm just trying to mark out that very well because it was not, the marker was like fading. So now we'll come back to our upper parts. So all these parts will be cut off because we don't need all these places again. They will be cut off. That's why I'm shading them. So the next thing we're going to be doing now is to get our shoulder that I'll be using for the off shoulder thing. And for my clients, if you want to measure the normal back or shoulder as we call it, we measure from one shoulder to the other, and it's always longer. But because it's an off shoulder body, you want it to stay under your armpit from one armpit to the other, like you see me take the measurement. So that's what you'll be taking, so that the off shoulder will sit perfectly on your client. So for my client, our own is 15 inches, and when you divide 15 inches by 2, what I will have is 7.5 inches. And from that 7.5 inches, I'll be deducting 1.5 inches. So whatever I have left, I'll mark it there, and then I'll be replacing that 1.5 inches that I used as a dart back, so that I will not have any shortage. I believe you understand what I just explained. So whatever your shoulder measurement is, you divide into 2, and whatever that is, you either deduct 1.5 or you deduct 2 inches. So that depends on how off you want the shoulders to be. So from there now, I'll be connecting to my armhole, as you see me do. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is just to get my vertical measurements. So I'll be dividing my bust into 4. Whatever that is, I'll be marking it. I'll mark it like so, and then I'll be adding back that space in between that, because I don't want any shortage. And then of course I'll add my 2 inches sewing allowance. So any sewing allowances you want, you can just mark it. So I'll be leaving the underbust, and then I'll be going over to the waist area. So for my waist measurement, whatever that is divided by 4, I'll be marking that. And then I'll be adding back the 3 inches that I used for the darts. We used 1.5 inches on both sides. And then I'll mark my 2 inches sewing allowance. And then at the full length of the top, I'll be making use of my hip measurement, because this blouse is long, so that it will be easy for my client to sit down, not that it will be too tight. So I'll be placing our hip divided by 4. Whatever that is, I'll be marking, and then I'll mark 3 inches sewing allowance. So now I'll be connecting the lines. So this is how my client's shape came out to be. So whatever your client's shape is, please kindly mark it. Then I'm connecting the armhole. You can either go straight or you carve it out as a normal armhole. So we are basically through with the front part. So the only thing left is for the neckline. So I'll be making use of a sweetheart neckline. So I'll be coming back to do that. But before that, let me just slant this side part. You know, when you see blouses, you don't see it straight. It always has this curvy thing at the lower part. So you just go up by 2 inches and then you slant it into the stitches on the lower parts or the lines there. And then you have that curvy part. So for the neckline, I've been making use of a sweetheart neckline. So just put into consideration the 4 inches that you are using for your off shoulder before marking your depth, so that you not go and spoil your clothes. So after marking the 4 inches, I now came down by 6.5 inches. That is 2.5 inches for my neck depth. And so I'll be using my curve ruler to carve out the sweetheart neckline. Like so. So I'll be cutting it out. We're basically through with the front part. So just trying to ascertain the length. That was what I wanted to do. But I had to just go ahead and cut it off camera. So I've cut it out, as you can see. You may see that place as it's looking odd. Don't worry, by the time you join your fabric and everything together, that place will be looking normal. So there's nothing to it. So for the back piece, I'd already gotten my paper and I've cut out I've marked out my zipper allowance, my armhole, my waist area, and then of course the full length. So those are the lines you see. And when you're doing this, always remember that you already minus it by 4 inches before marking those lines, just like we did in the front. So we'll just be doing small altercations for this back piece. So for the neck width, you know, remember we made use of whatever we divided, our shoulder divided into 2 minus 1.5 inches. So whatever that is for you, your mark. Mine was 5.5 inches, so that's what I'm marking right there. So now I'll be getting my bust measurement divided by 4. And please ensure that all the markings you're making will be from that line that I marked for the zipper allowance, not before the line. It should start on that line. So I'll be marking that and then I'll be placing 2 inches sewing allowance. And please, lest I forget, I'm making use of a single paper, as you see. Even for the front piece, I made use of a single paper. I didn't want to waste my paper. So when you're going to be cutting on your fabrics, please ensure that you cut everything on fold. It should be on fold. So now I'm marking my waist measurement divided by 4, and then I'm adding 2 inches sewing allowance. And then of course for the length of the blouse, I'll be marking my hip measurement and then I'll add 3 inches sewing allowance, because that was what exactly I did in the front. So that by the time you want to close everything, everything will be aligned properly. So I'll be connecting it like so. So I'm trying to get the armhole for the back. So what I was saying basically there was that it's better to confirm what you have up there. That is that from 5.5. Just come down here and mark it so that your lines will be straight. As you see, my line was not straight, so I had to readjust that. So I now got the appropriate one. So now we're connecting my armhole for the back. And so I want to get the neck depth. So placing that 4 inches like so, you come down. I came down by 6 inches for the back. For the front, I did 6.5, but for the back, I'm doing 6 inches. I don't want it too open at the back, so I'll be carving out like so. And I'm doing a U neckline, a round neckline for that. So I'm going to be placing my dart measurement. So you divide your nipple to nipple into 2, and then you mark like so. So I'm joining those lines from the chest line down to the length, like so. My marker was almost finished right here. I don't think these markers last these days. So right on the waistline, I'll be marking half inch for my dart. And then from the length of the blouse, I'll be going up by 2 inches. And then from the chest line, I'll be coming down by 2 inches as well. And so I'll be connecting like so. Just connect to your waistline from that 2 inches you came down, and then you connect to the 2 inches you came up with from your length blouse or blouse length. So there we have it. We have our dart. So remember that I did not remember to add my dart measurement for allowance when I was drafting. So I have to come back here to place it back, because if not, it will affect my sewing allowance. So that is what you see me doing there. I have to come back here to place the 1 inch allowance for my dart. So that is what I was trying to adjust right there on the waistline. So the first line will be ignored. And so the same thing I did for the side of the front. I will be bringing the one side of the front like so, so that everything will align. So I'm placing it like that, and then I'll just be cutting off exactly what we have there, so that it would rhyme with the front piece. So now I'll be cutting out the back piece because we're through with it. So I'm cutting out the neckline. So I was just trying to extend that line, and then we'll cut out this one, the darts for the back. So I want to extend that line. So I'll just cut it out straight. I'm notching the zip, notch your zip allowance. And then in order to avoid that bulginess at the back of the blouse, by that waistline area, just come in by half an inch. Don't worry, it will not affect the sewing allowance. And then you slant it up and then you slant it down, and then you're good to go. There will be no bulginess at the back of the zip. So I'll be cutting that out. Sorry, the fan was on high because the weather was hot. So that's why it's blowing the papers. So please, when you are cutting, cut, unfold. So this is for one side. So you're going to be having 4 pieces, 2 for one side, 2 for the other side. This equally applies to the front piece. The only difference is the middle piece. That's that one there. It has to be unfolded. It will not be into 2. It will be a single one. But this one for the side will be 2 pieces. So I'll be going off camera to cut my lining, my lace, and then of course the doll face. I'll be cutting everything off camera and then I'll be back to show you. So I've gone ahead to cut out everything. This is, as you see it, I've placed it on the table so that you see it. So this lace is with the doll face, as you see. That's the middle part, and this is the side piece. So this is one here and the other one is on the other side, as you see. So this is how I cut it out. I've cut out exactly like this for the lining as well. So the next thing I'll be doing is cut out my wadding. I think I've showed a tutorial on how to do that. So I'll be doing that off camera because it's already getting late and I'm like kind of in a haste. So I'm not going to be cutting out the neckline yet. I'll be showing you subsequently as we progress in the sewing. That is when I'll cut out my neckline. I'm not cutting out. I'll be cutting it out after I've joined the sides, the front piece and the lining. That's when I'll cut it out. So that's the doll face I was trying to show you. I've equally cut out the lining. You're going to cut out exactly what you cut out for your doll face, also on the lining. So these are the back pieces. I've gone ahead to cut it out as well. So I just want to place it for you to see. So this is one side of the back. And this is the other side. So this is the back piece. So let me just bring the paper to place on it so that you know that it was the paper I used to cut out. So you can see it. So I cut out 2 for this, that and this. And then for the middle part, I cut out this and that. I cut out 2 pieces as well. So now let me go over to the sewing machine and use my lining, because on my lining I didn't iron interfacing on this doll face part, but I did that on my lining. I didn't want to iron it on this doll face because it makes it rumpled, and I don't like the feeling it gives. So I'd rather iron it on my lining, and that will be okay for me. So that was what I did. I had gone ahead to turn this back. You can see it's the lining. That's the lining. I'd already ironed it with a gum stay to give it stability, so you can see. So the thing is looking smooth. It's not looking rumpled, because I don't like using that place ironing gum stay on doll face. It gives it a rumpled look. So it's better you do it on your lining. So this is the front part. I've already gone to join it. As you can see, the cup area, the bust area is busting. So if you've watched up to this level, I even totally forgot, please kindly hit on the subscribe button, like, share, and please kindly subscribe. So yeah, so this is the lining as well. I've gone ahead to join it also. So this is the point where I'm going to be cutting out the neckline. So like I said, you can see that the time is far gone. As at now, it's already getting late. So sorry, from here on, I'll be kind of rushing things, and I hope you would enjoy it, because I tried my best possible to show you the details. Yeah. So now I'll be marking my neckline. So remember, on the paper I placed my 4 inches like so, and then I came down by 2.5 inches. So that is exactly what I'll be repeating here. So I was trying to look for my chalk or my marker. Even my baby was already tired, like, oh, mommy, let's go, I'm tired. So I've marked it, and then I'll be using my curve ruler to carve out the neckline. So you can see that I ironed the gum stay on the lining. So this one shows everything. That's why I didn't bother to show you the back, but this is exactly how I ironed everything on it. So I'll be cutting it out like so. And then of course I'll be ironing out the seams later off camera, but because I was in haste, that's why I just had to show this part so that it won't look as if I didn't show you. So I'll be ironing out those seams, as you see. So I have the neckline cut out, so you can see. So this is exactly what I'll be repeating on the lace parts before turning it over. So I'm going to be showing you. So the same thing I did, I'll be just fold it like so, use pins to hold it down, and then cut out the neckline. So I'll be placing 4 inches on the table. Then I'll be marking 2.5 inches. And then like I did for the lining, I'll do exactly the same thing here. And then I'll be carving it out like so. And then I'll cut it out. So I'll be reducing the wording from the neckline like so. I'll be reducing it by half an inch, because it's not proper to sew your wording up to the neckline. No, that's not good. It will look boofum boofum. So it's better you cut off the excesses so that it will be easy for you to even turn your neckline easily. Because if that foam is there, it will make it look puffy, 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 puffy. So that's what I'm trying to trim out. So just trim it off, trim off the excesses. Just trim it off by 1 inch. So I'm through with that. So let me just open it up. Okay, I just want to trim out the mid parts. So yes, you can see that I have exactly the same thing that I have on this. That is exactly the same thing I'm having here. So I'm going to be placing it like this. But the first thing I'll be doing is to be running the stitch at the lower parts. Run it, notch, top stitch, then come to the neckline and equally run the stitch like so. And then I'll run the sides to close it up so that it will give a neat finishing. So I'll be right back to show you the next step. So I'm through with that, and I've gone ahead to attach my zipper to the back. As you see, this is the zipper side. Why are you refusing to open? So I had to flip it and then open it up. So this is the zipper. I've already attached it, as you see. So I'll be setting this aside because the back piece is ready. This is the inner. You can see how neat it looks. It's looking neat and clean. So this is it. And so this is the front of the blouse. So you can see the neckline that it's given. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Looking pretty. So you can see that waist area that I was telling you about, that is not showing again, so that it will accommodate my client's stomach because she has a big stomach. So this is the inner part and it's looking neat. So now the next thing I'll be doing is just to close it up and then fix my sleeves. If you want me to make a tutorial on how to cut an off-shoulder sleeve, please kindly tell me in the comment section and I will do that. So just because I was rushing, that's why I didn't want to show anything, because I had already, even before cutting out my my fabrics, my pattern on my fabrics, I had already cut out my sleeves first because I wanted that edges part, that scallop part, to be on the sleeve. So you just need to cut that out first, because if not, you're going to run into problem where after cutting the cloth, because you will not see that edge for the sleeve. So I would always advise that you cut out your sleeves first before cutting out your bodies. Yeah, talking from experience. Yeah, so I'm pinning that like that, and then I'll be pinning all the other ones, and then I'll be getting my normal measurements, that is the actual measurements, and then I'll be back to show you how it looks. So you align everything like that, you pin it down, then you take your proper measurements, and voila, we are through. So I've gone ahead to do that like I told you, and I'd fixed the sleeves and everything, and you can see the blouse is blousing. So I had to wear this on my mannequin, but my mannequin did not really give it because it's not my client size. But you can see the bust area all sitting pretty, all looking beautiful, all looking madamish. So if you enjoyed watching this tutorial, once again, kindly hit on the subscribe button, like, share, and please kindly give this a very big thumbs up. Thank you all, and God bless. See you all on my next tutorial. Bye. It's Genius Signature.